everyone, and welcome back to Tammy's Yarn House. Today's tutorial is going to be how to make this cabled blanket. Cabled stitch. I did this blanket in long strips, right? And so I'll combine these together, and I'll post another video on how to combine these together. But the goal today is this beautiful cabled stitch. It's very easy. It looks like it's a little intricate, but trust me, it's really not. You'll get it in no time. What I used for this project is Red Heart Super Saver, and it tells you to use the recommended hook size is a 5mm, and I used a 5.5. If you don't know this already, if you go up a couple of hook sizes, your project will drape a little bit better. It'll be a little more flexible. It'll just be a little more fluffy. And so I only went up a half a size for this one because I wanted to do the cables, which is a more intricate design. And if you go too far increased with your hook size, you could lose some of this design. So I just went up just a tad, just a half a hook size to a 5.5. You'll also need a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle to weave in your ends. I still haven't weaved in my ends, so we'll have to do that. But the goal for today is to show you how to make this wonderful cable stitch. Okay, let's get started. Okay, here we are. This is worked in a multiples of 8 plus 4. This 8 gives us room to make this. So 8, 8, 8, 8 plus 4. So for this panel, we're going to chain 28. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. When you get to 28, meet me back here. I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I have 28 chains here. And what we're going to do is we are going to work a single crochet in each of these chains. And you're going to start by working a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Now remember, what's on our hook never counts ever. So we're going to go into the back bumps. And the reason you want to go into the back bumps is, let me show you. So I'm going to put a border on the end of this. It's going to be a fringe border. And I worked into the back bumps. Now when you turn that, look at that. There are our stitches. Our V stitches are prominent. They're there. I don't have to hunt and peck and try to find. When you go into the back bump of your foundation chain, this is what you're left with. It's just so much easier, and anything to make it easier, I'm game for. So I'm a huge fan of going into the back bump unless your pattern dictates that you have to do something else. All right, so here we go. Second chain from the hook. That's 1. This is 2. Let me turn that around there so you guys can see. That one right there is hidden a little bit back there. This is your second chain from your hook, and we're going to do single crochets all the way down. And it takes a couple of extra minutes to do into the back bump, but I'm telling you, a couple of extra minutes in the beginning to go through that back bump will save you a lot of frustration, especially if you're not good yet with reading stitches on where you are. It will save you a lot of frustration in the end when you're trying to put a border on it. Trust me, been there. All right, so here we go. Single crochet in every single stitch. Do that, meet me at the end, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, here we are at the end. We have done a single crochet in all of the stitches. You should have 27 stitches. We are going to chain 3, and turn your work. And now we are going to put double crochets in all of our stitches along the base. And what we're doing is building a foundation in order to make the panels, because we're going to have to go down into these double crochets in order to make our cable. So this is us building the foundation. Okay, so in that first stitch, you're going to start out by doing a double crochet, and we're going to do a double crochet into each of these stitches, going across, building that foundation so that we can work into these double crochets in order to do our cable. Okay, so do your double crochets all the way to the end, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, here we are at the end of our row of double crochet, and we are going to chain 1, turn your work, and put a row of single crochets all the way down. And again, this is the last row of our base, our foundation. All right, so you're gonna start off, put a single crochet in that very first stitch, and a single crochet all the way through to the end. And these single crochets are what we're going to be working in, and we're going to be working around our double crochets with front post stitches to get that cabled look. So we started off with a row of single crochet, then we did a row of double crochet, and to finish our foundation, this is going to be a row of single crochet again, and we'll show you what to do. So go ahead and finish your single crochets. I'll meet you at the end and we'll start the cable stitch. Okay, now we are done doing our row of single crochet, row of double crochet, and another row of single crochet. Now we are going to work our actual cable stitch. So we are going to chain up 3, turn your work. And on my projects, I did not count this chain 3 because I worked a border around this chain 3 in a cable fashion, and that's why I left this alone. If you do not want to put a border around the sides of your blanket, then you can count this as a stitch. I chose not to, so we're not going to in this tutorial. So we're going to ignore this, and we're going to put a double crochet in the first 3 stitches. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Okay, now we're going to do our first cable, which really is a front post treble crochet. All right, so we've got these 3 doubles. You're going to miss these 3 doubles down here. This one was what we're going to work into, this 4th one. All right, so these correlate with each other. Our next workable stitch we're going to do is a front post treble around this. Front post treble is yarn over twice. Go in through the front, pull up a loop. Now we've got 4 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You see how that looks a little twisted? That's what makes the cables in your blanket. Okay, so now we're going to work the next 3 double crochets. This is what's going to make the twisted little spiral look. And what we're going to do is we're going to skip the first one. We're going to work a front post treble into the middle and the one on the third. So the middle and the third, and then we're going to go back and get the one we missed. So if you want to count it like this, you want to count it 1, 2, 3, right? In your 3, you're going to work 2, 3, 1. I hope I didn't confuse you. So you've got 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, right? Or you can do it right, middle, left. We're going to do middle, left, and then go to the right. That's going to be yarn over twice. We're going to work into the middle one of that 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to work a front post treble and that one. Here we go. Now we're going to come back and get the one we missed. And it might look like a little jumbled bit of a hot mess right now, but wait until we get to the next row and it'll even itself out. Now, just like we did just a regular front post treble on this side, we're going to sandwich it with another front post treble on this side. So yarn over twice, we'll go in here, and there we are. You see how it crisscrossed? Now, you might have to count your stitches that you did not use. You want to make sure that you skip 5 stitches, okay? Because we did do 5 trebles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you want to make sure you skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you want to start working a double crochet. You're going to put 3 double crochets in between each of your cabled areas. So here goes another. There's our 3rd double crochet. And we're going to do the same thing we did over here. We're going to make sure that these correlate, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so that we get into the right one. Front post treble into this one, just a regular. Now we're going to work in these 3. We're going to go into the middle, then into the left, and then go back and get the one we missed over here to the right. Yarn over twice, go into the middle, go to the one to the left, and come back here and get the one that we had skipped. And we need to put another front post treble to sandwich our little cord, our twisted section, I guess you could say. There we are. There's another section. Now make sure that you skip 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means we're going to work in this one. So we're going to put 3 double crochets. Come on, Tammy. 3 double crochets. Make sure those correlate with each other. This one, front post treble. Now again, we're going to work into these 3. Into the middle, then the left, then go back and get the one on the right that we skipped. So we'll do the middle one first. Then we're going to get the one to the left. And we'll go back and get the one that we skipped. And we put a treble, front post treble in that one. There we go. Make sure we're counting 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should have 3 stitches left, and we do, and we'll put 3 double crochets. So now we know your count is definitely correct. This is a project where you want to make sure that your count is correct. The last thing you want to do is get to the end and because there's really not a way to effectively correct that without it noticing. Okay, so there is our first row. Now this is a 2-row repeat. The first row is going to be of the repeat is going to be working your cables, and then the second row of the repeat is we're going to work single crochets around the back of this. So we're going to chain 1, turn your work, and in all of these stitches across the back, starting with the first, we are going to put single crochets in all of these stitches across the back. And this will help us build that foundation again that we need to build the cables, because you want all your cables on this side. All right, so work a single crochet in all of your stitches. Meet me at the end and I'll show you the next row. Okay, here we are at the end of our row of single crochets, and we are going to chain 3 and turn our work. Now we're ready to make another row of cabled stitches. All right, this is going to be slightly different because this row we're going to be working around our already established treble crochets. All right, so double crochet in the first 3 stitches. Now we are going to work around this treble crochet that we did from the row below. We're going to put a front post treble crochet around this. So yarn over twice. We're just going to slip that in there. Yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We still have 3, right? We still have 3. 1, 2, 3, and we're still going to do the same thing. We're going to work a front post treble around the middle, then the one on the left, and then go back and get the one on the right that we had originally skipped. All right, so we're still going to do it middle, left, and then to the right. All right, so let's yarn over twice, go around the one in the middle, work your treble there, go around to the one on the end, and then we're going to come back and get the one in the beginning that we had skipped. All right, we'll finish off this little section by doing a treble around the treble from below. And that keeps it looking twisted. It'll keep it looking this little twisted pattern. Again, if you're afraid that you're going to miscount right here, putting double crochets into these stitches, you can still go back and count your 5. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we're going to do our first double crochet right there. 3 double crochets in between our cabled sections. There we are. Here is our treble from the row below. We are going to do a treble around that one. And here we are again. We've got our 3 middle, left, and then right. So we do a treble around the middle, and then around the left, and go back and get that one, the first one on the right. We're going to finish off our little cable section with a treble around the one below. And we're going to put 3 double crochets in between our cabled sections. And until you get comfortable, it's always a good idea to make sure that you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to go into the 6th one with a double crochet. After you've been doing this for a little while, you'll be able to recognize to go into those double crochets, those 3 double crochets in between your cabled panel little sections. You'll be able to recognize it a lot easier. But until you get to the point where you can recognize that, it's always a good idea to make sure that you're leaving those 5 stitches unworked. Okay, here we are at our next cable section. We're going to do a treble around the treble from below, and we're back to our 3. We're going to work the middle, the left, then the right. So we're going to put a treble around the middle, a treble around the right or the left, and then we're going to go back and get the one on the right that we had missed or skipped. Finishing off our cable section with a treble from the one below. And again, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you could count from the end 1, 2, 3, and do your double crochets in the end. And that is the 2-row repeat. It is a row of single crochets in order to build that foundation, and there starts your cabled panel. So what I'm going to do, friends, is you can go ahead, if you think you've got it, you can go ahead and rewind as much as you need to and go back and look. But I'm going to go ahead and do one more row with y'all of the cabled. By this point, everybody should know how to do a single crochet row. So we're going to chain 1, turn, and put single crochets in all of this. And if you want me to demonstrate again how to do this cabled row, just meet me back here and I'll do one more cabled row with you before we end. Okay, go ahead and do this row of single crochets and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, here we are at the end of the single crochet row, and we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. Now here's one more row. I'm going to show you one more row of the cabled stitch. You're going to start off by 3 double crochets in the first 3 stitches. 1, 2, and our third one. The row below helps you, right? It helps you know what to do next. So we're going to keep this cable going, and we're going to do a treble around the treble from the row below. Okay, now let's do the middle of our cable. Now again, you've got 3, and it's okay to pull them apart like that. It'll go right back together. To recognize where your 3 are. After you've done several rows of this, you're just going to dig in there like you know exactly what you're looking for, and you won't have to pull them apart like this. You'll just instinctively know where to go. And so we're always going to work the middle first, then the one on the left, then we're going to come back and get the one on the right that we skipped. Okay, so let's do a treble front post around the middle. Treble front post around the one on the left. And we're going to go back and get that one on the right. All right, and then we're going to close this cable section off with another treble front post, and that closes off our section. Again, count your stitches to skip until you can really be sure, because once you miscalculate right here, it does throw it off just a little bit. And so it's a good idea to really just make sure, because it will kind of look like it goes sideways a little bit when you're doing it. So just make sure that you're skipping 5 stitches from behind to accommodate these 5 trebles that we just made. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me make sure, Tammy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our first double crochet needs to go into that 6th one. And somehow that doesn't look right to me. I don't know why. That's not looking right to me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. You see how important it is to count that. Somehow I was missing this stitch over here. I was missing one. And if I would have not double checked, because my gut said, no, let me keep at it, because it doesn't look right. So make sure that you are counting your stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First double crochet goes into that 6th one, because it really will. It'll throw it off a little bit. And so it's always good. Sometimes, you know, when we're busy and we're just crocheting along and we make a mistake and we don't even realize that we, you know, had made the mistake. And by then you're so many rows up that it feels heartbreaking to have to go back and frog it in order to, you know, get it to be symmetrical. All right, here's another cable section. Let's do one more of these together. The row below kind of tells you what you need to do on the outside. So you guessed it, treble around this one. Here are 3 again. Middle, left, right. So we're going to do a treble around the middle, a treble around the right or the left. Geez, Tammy. And then we're going to come back and do a treble around the one on the right, the one that we missed. And we're going to finish off this section, sandwich it with another treble on the other side. What am I doing? There we go. Now let's make sure we're skipping the appropriate amount of stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go into this 6th one right here with a double crochet. And this is going to start our 3 double crochets. Now we can start our next cable section. Treble around that treble from below. And we've got our 3 again. We're going to go in middle, left, and then right. So let's treble and go around that middle one. Treble around the left. And then treble around the right. Finish off our cable section with another treble. And at the end, you can either count 3 stitches back to start your doubles, or you can continue doing what you were doing before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our double crochets. Okay, so that's what it is. 2-row repeat. When you go to finish this project and you're done, just finish off with a row of single crochets. And you see how I said at the beginning, if you work into those back hoops, your V stitches are right here. They're right here. They're noticeable. You don't have to hunt, peck, find, and invent, and it'll be easier to put a border on this. Cable blankets, this one that I'm doing, I'm going to put a fringe on the top and on the bottom, and I'll finish off the sides with another cable. You can do this any way you want to. You can put whatever border around it that you want to, if you want to, and you can leave your sides together. They're still good. They look good. So that's just a little extra finishing that I will do on this one. And this is your cable stitch. So I hope you have fun, as much fun as I did. I had loads of fun doing mine, and I can't wait. If you want to follow me on Facebook at Tammy's Yarn House, I will post a picture of this finished project, and I'll more than likely make another video on the finished project. So stay tuned. But in the meantime, we just wanted to show you how to do this beautiful cable stitch. All right, leave me a comment below with any questions or concerns. Be sure to like my video, please, to support my work, and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on my new videos coming out. All right, happy crocheting, y'all.